Hello fellow groomers, it's a little bit windy for videoing outside today, so just thought I'd give you a little update. I have sent out quite a long email. Hopefully everybody has received it today, just with an update on our Covid-19 situation, hopefully going forward. It's been a bit difficult to try and get some concrete information from everybody or anybody, but I guess they're doing the best they can for the country, and they can't really focus in on every sector of the business world, if you like. So I gave an email to the Department of Agriculture, and they didn't come back with anything yet. Still waiting. There's quite a delay with them. But I also noticed in my research that the National Standards Authority of Ireland, the NSAI, they have workplace guidelines up, and they have an information centre there. So that's a good tool to go to as well, looking to see how you're going to be able to work with COVID-19 going ahead. Because that is it. That is our reality. That is our life. That is what is going to be around until they actually develop a vaccine. That is the only way that they're going to actually get rid of it. So it's going to be in our lives for the foreseeable future. It's not that just when these restrictions are lifted, hopefully on May the 5th, that it's gone forever. It isn't. It's around. It will be in our environment. What the government is hoping to do and aiming for is that they will have what they call real-time testing. So if somebody becomes unwell with it, they get tested, they get results within 24, 48 hours, and then all of their contacts can be contacted, anybody they've been in contact with, and they will all have to self-isolate for 14 days. That is the way it's going to be going forward. That this is our lives now. And this is what we need to consider when we hopefully will be getting back to work. So once the movement of people are lifted, so currently people cannot travel 2k outside of their home except for essential journeys. And for most of us with our regular clientele, we're not an essential journey at the moment. So yeah, once the people embargo is lifted, then we will be able to hopefully reopen then, as long as we can maintain the social distancing protocols. So everything you experience now when you go to a shop, when you go doing your shopping or going into a pharmacy, that sort of thing, that is what we need to be putting in place. So you need to be considering how you're taking in your dog. Even before that, you need to be considering contacting your clients the evening before, asking them if they've been traveling recently, if they're under instruction to self-isolate. If anybody in the house is under instruction to self-isolate, you don't want to take those dogs in. If they're self-isolating, they shouldn't be leaving the house. You want to make sure that children are kept in the car, that no kids are brought into your salon. One person per dog, same as your one person per trolley in the supermarket. Again, we don't want to be crowding areas with people, basically. We need to maintain these social distances. So I wrote to the NSAI, and after looking at their workplace guidelines, which I have put a link in the email that I've sent out to everybody, and I gave them basically my working protocol the week before we had to close up. So I was working my social distancing. I had a small gate that was ajar. The people came in that. The latch on it had been disinfected before the client entered. So the client was to close the gate for animal security. Then I had a crate outside, just inside that gate, so that they would then place the dog into that crate, remove the lead and collar, close the crate, and let themselves back out the gate. So then I would disinfect the gate again where they were after the handling, Then I would disinfect the cage of the dog, remove the cage of the dog, and for this I would have my PPE on of a face mask and gloves and an apron. Then the dog comes straight in and gets washed straight away. So washing them straight away, you're doing the hot soapy water wash of your hands, equivalent on the dog. So you're washing any virus particles that may be there off the dog. Now, there's a whole lot of discussion about that. If a house is symptomatic, if there is sneezing, coughing, snorting, whatever going on, then potentially there is a potential that there could be some virus particles on the dog's coat. It hasn't been scientifically backed up yet. So all we can work on is worst case scenario that there could be virus particles. So your hot soapy wash of your dog is going to remove those virus particles, because we've seen that the COVID-19 virus actually does break down very quickly and very well with soap, or warm soapy water. Just takes it down. So that would be your dog hot soapy washed and cleaned before you do any styling. What I would also do then when styling the dog, because I'm standing over the dog, breathing on the dog, don't know if I've got virus in my system, don't think I have, but you could be an asymptomatic. So what I'm actually doing is wearing a face mask now while I'm grooming, so that I'm not transferring any virus particles onto the dog for him going home. The going home routine is the same. The owners contact me when they arrive. I will then open the gate, have the dog in the crate waiting for them, disinfect the crate, disinfect the gate after I open it, stand back then and allow the owners to collect in the dog, put on the lead and collar. Paying is by contactless payments if you can. If you have the SumUp or the Bank of Ireland card machines, you can actually do them remote by the owner calling out the numbers to you, and you can pop in the numbers that way, kind of a virtual terminal, and that way you don't have to have any contact with their cards at all. Cash, if I do get cash, it goes into my UV sterilizer and it stays there for the day. Basically, that's how I work it. If I was getting cash, not getting cash now at the moment. Leo money is great. So it's looking at, if anybody wants that kind of breakdown of my routine, if you want to email me or message me, and I can just send you a written copy of that. As I said, it is in the email that I sent you out today. So the NSAI, I broke that down to them, sent that to them, and they looked and thought it was a good procedure, that it seems to comply with all of their protocols that they require for the social distancing, and the person I actually was communicating with has a dog, so appreciates the kind of workings of a salon and various setups. So the only thing to consider then is, going forward, if you are opening up, is, you know, if you're working from home, how separate is your salon from the house? Have you vulnerable people in the house? Do you need to consider that? Do you need to consider different ways to work your setup so that you're minimizing any client interaction, any client touching of any surfaces that you have, that they're not opening doors that everybody else is going to be going through. So it's just absolutely keeping your complete social distance. We really still have to treat everybody as if they have it and we don't want to catch it from them, or that we have it and we don't want to give it to them. So it's really, that is our reality. That is what we need to work with going forward. Another thing that Michelle in the NSAI considered was contact tracing. So keeping a log of people that you're in contact with from your workplace. This really applies more to staff where you've got a few people on the premises at a time, so that there could be different people in contact with different clients, so that, you know, there's more people coming through rather than a one person operation who's only doing 5 or 6 dogs a day. And just to make sure, again, with your staff, that you have areas zoned, that the staff are always working 2 meters apart. Break times are break times are staggered so that people aren't sitting in canteens across the table from each other. Again, it's keeping that social distance between staff all the time. So that's something, again, in your setup, if you have staff, is everybody 2 meters apart all the time. So the handouts that are there, the workplace safety for Covid-19 is on the NSAI website, so that's another spot that's good for that. Also in the email there was some details about Pet Bond. I don't know if everybody has got their email from Pet Bond, but they are doing a free section for the groomers at the moment up until 2021, which is very nice. They're going to be highlighting different groomers. They're going to be doing videos and blogs and various bits and pieces like this. Pet Bond, just quickly, is the brainchild of Tim Kirby. He's a vet in Dublin, and basically he was frustrated with clients coming to him with unwell or structurally unsound puppies that they had bought from various buying and selling websites and social media outlets and that sort of thing. So rather than sending people to that, he wanted to put together this website that they had a trusted spot to go to procure puppies or kittens, and also for kind of whole life care, that there would be trusted kennels, trusted groomers, trusted other and various other health providers, welfare providers for pets. So it was a one-stop shop for good, trusted professionals. So that's Pet Bond. There was a fee when they were ringing us earlier on the year. I think it was £9.99 a month or €100 for a year. But that is actually being waived for us now, so that you can sign up to that. And they are targeting the IPDGA specifically because they see us as being a good association, that our core values and views and our charter that we work towards represents the same ideas as Tim's idea of his website, that the animals are safe in our care, they're well looked after, and we try and plan their future grooming so that they're all kept well and safe. The other thing was from Pete Wedderburn. He's putting together a website as well. Excuse me. His one is called Pet Fix, and it's an online veterinary platform. So he's going to be there'll be various questions and answers and sections in it. There'll also be an online vet and a video consult, so that you can send in a picture of something that you found, maybe a lump and a bump, and query a question: do I need to go to the vet? Is this something that we can deal with at home, or how emergent is the situation? And you can book. This is actually going to be going countrywide. He's starting it up Dublin, but he is getting other vets on board countrywide, that you can actually get somebody from your area rather than linking with the Dublin vet in case you need an actual visit with a vet. So that's another one called Pet Fix, and again, he wants the groomers on board with that. There doesn't seem to be a fee involved with that, except for looking for an initial percentage discount to new clients coming in from the Pet Fix website, that we would offer a discount of some sort. So I don't know if that's something that you'd be interested in. The one good thing about the Pet Fix is that we're going to get access to the Pet Fix website as well as kind of clients. Joe Public pays to be a member of it and pays a subscription fee monthly. So it's kind of a members only area that we'd be accessing, that you could have the access to the video consults and that sort of thing as well. So that's basically in the email that I sent out this morning. It's a very long email, but just thought we'd pop it up here because not everybody checks their emails and not everybody has their emails up to date on the membership work system. On your member profile, make sure that your email is up to date because you could be missing out on all of these updates or offers or that we're getting. So just double check while you have a bit of time. Go onto your profile on the IPDGA.com, give it a little update, refresh some pictures, but just make sure that your contact details on it are all current. The only way to change email addresses on it is by changing it yourself. If you've managed to change an email address recently, or you locked yourself out of another account, so you can go into your IPDGA.com profile. If you can't remember your password when you go to log in, don't worry about that. It will be sent to you. There's a little button there, forgotten your password, and it will send you a new password that you can log in with them. Alrighty, so enjoy the weather, guys. Enjoy your time off, and it'll be the last time we'll ever get paid holidays, I'm sure. But yeah, let's hopefully we'll all be back in work in the next 2 weeks, and stay safe. Bye bye.